The one and only Sarah Rundle.
How many of you have got friends who do stupid things?
Yeah.
It's like the cartoon thing where they run off the cliff and they don't notice, and then they look down and then they fall, and then all the time somebody's going, no, and then they do it. You know, friends who go out with other friends and you think, oh God, now I've got to choose between them. So, this is dedicated to all the people who do stupid things. We've had enough wiliness, we're going to have a little bit of idiocy. And it concerns a gentleman called Captain Murderer. Oh, and Captain Murderer was lovely. Captain Murderer had long, dark ringlets, an elegantly cut coat with crystal buttons, a silver-topped cane, and he walked with a swirl and a swagger, and when he chatted to the ladies, oh, they purred. Captain Murderer got married again and again and again and again. It's strange. No one could quite work out where his wives went. And when he courted in a coach and four. And when he got married in a coach and six. And they were the famous Captain Murderer greys, pure white horses. But the harness was a special design. It hid the small of their backs, because when he bought those horses, they were pure white. But after he'd had them for a while, they got a bloody handprint on their back. And that handprint was young brides. And it was Captain Murderer's habit, whenever he saw a new young filly that he would like to marry, he would inquire of her, my dear, can you make pastry? Not having her. And if she didn't know how to make pastry, he would make sure she was taught how to make pastry. And then they would be married, and on the night before the marriage, the blacksmith would be sent for. Why? And on the day of the marriage, he would drive to the church in his coach and six with his bride, and the road to the church, it would be planted with strange plants. And she would say, oh, dear Captain Murderer, what are those plants? And he would say, garnish for house lamb. And she would notice how strangely pointy his teeth were. And then, on the way back, they would travel past those strange plants. He would snigger again. They would get to the house. They would have a feast. There would be a honeymoon, which means drinking mead for a month. And there would be guests and parties for a month. And at the end of the month, the guests would all go home and they would be left alone together to start their nuptial life. And then he would bring out the golden rolling pin and the silver pastry board, and he would give her the flour and tell her to make pastry. And she'd go, woo, and be domestic, and domestic goddess. And she'd roll up her lacy sleeves, and she would make the pastry, and she would roll it out, and he would bring her a silver pie dish. And she would line the base of the pie dish with pastry, and she would say, dear Captain Murderer, is it to be a meat pie or a fruit pie? And he would say, a meat pie, my dear. And she would roll out the top and cut it to size, and then she would say, I see no need for the pie. And he would say, look in the mirror. And she would look in the mirror and see nobody but herself, and she would start to cry because she was confused. And then he would draw his saber and say, I see the meat for the pie. Swish! Off came her head, and then he would hack her into pieces and put her in the pie dish and pepper her and salt her and put the crust on top and using saliva to tamp it down and make the crust firm. And then he would give it to the baker who put it in his oven, and it would come out, and he would use the same saber to hack it into pieces, great slices of hot pie, and then he would shoot it up and suck the bones off and lick the gravy he had lived in, until it was all gone. And it was time to go courting again. Now, Captain Murderer came across a matched pair. 2 sisters. One dark and one fair. But the dark one hated him, and the light one liked him, so that was an easy choice. He proposed to the light-haired sister. And of course was accepted. The dark-haired sister was more sensible. She did her best to try and split them up. She had no grounds. She was watching the car crash happen. She spied, she listened at keyholes, she listened at doors. When the wedding came, she noticed that the blacksmith was sent for the night before the ceremony. She overheard the remark about garnish for the house. And then, after the honeymoon, all the guests departed, leaving her sister and Captain Murderer together alone in the house. And soon after, Captain Murderer gave out that her sister was dead of a fever. And she didn't trust him. But she went to Captain Murderer and said, "My dear Captain Murderer, I always loved you. I was just jealous of my sister. Will you marry me next?" And he thought, well, ding dong, don't have to do much courting, do I? So, of course, he proposed to the dark-haired sister and was... And on the night before the wedding, he called for the blacksmith, and the blacksmith sharpened his teeth. And the dark-haired sister was looking through the window. She climbed up the ivy, and she laughed, and he heard the laugh. And in the horses in the stables kicked, and he went out to see, but she'd scampered away. And then came the day of the wedding. They went to the church, they went past the strange plants, and she said, "Oh, that's not like you at all, is it?" Oh, dear Captain Murderer, what are these plants?" "Garnish for house love." And they had the honeymoon, and then the guests were sent away. And he gave her the golden rolling pin, and the silver pastry board, and the butter, and the flour, and told her, "Make pastry." Do you know how to make pastry?
A little bit.
So vulnerable, so young. And she made the pastry for the pie dish, and she made the pastry for the lid, and said, "Oh, dear Captain Murderer, is it to be a fruit pie or a meat pie? Oh, look in the mirror. Swish! Off came her head, and then he hacked her up and put her in the pie dish, and he put the crust on top and used his saliva to seal the edge and tamp it down, and he gave it to the baker put it in the oven. He took it out when it was done. He cut it up into slices with his sabre. He gulped it down. The gravy ran into his beard. He sucked the bones off every one. Excuse me. And then it was as though his tongue was bigger than his mouth, and he started to scratch. He came out in a rash, and his airways started to close up, and he couldn't get his breath. And he died of an anaphylactic reaction and burst upon the carpet. Because before she had made the pastry, the clever, dark-haired sister who didn't want to live without her sister, she had taken a poison made of synovial fluid, spider's knees, and the earwax from bats. A slow-acting poison that would not be destroyed by heat, unlike botulinum. And that poison percolated through her body and into the pie and killed him. And at the moment he died, the horse horses in the stables went mad. They kicked free from the stables. They kicked down the door of the mansion. They kicked to death the blacksmith who filed the teeth and the baker who baked the pies. And then they ran out into the world and were never seen again. And the house was cleansed.